And go!
Angle or and go?
Oh. No. And go. Like Van Gogh, but it's different.
Different in that.
These look a lot like similar things which we have.
Fuck yeah, push traps.
So
I'm taking my...
So what do push traps do?
They push.
Okay. How would you implement a push trap? Because the spring traps, you're like, oh, those are useless.
In front of acid. I think the push traps are more useful. Because they don't throw you so far. What they do, see, the thing is, the spring traps, they send you up and far. But the push traps is to send you across. So, like, if I put a spring trap here, it would just launch them to that side. But if I put a push trap here, it'll just push them into the acid. Because it'll just go horizontally.
And they'll slide, like, more than one space?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, yeah, makes sense.
They get, like, a little bit of lift. And then they slide a lot.
That makes sense. But obviously they're going to hit the other side, so...
What should we do? We'll do barricades. There's been no sappers yet. I forgot how there was no sappers in this game until, like, the end on normal difficulty. Or at least the middle. There's 24 levels. How many levels
did they give you more weapons in hard difficulty?
No.
Oh. You said normal difficulty, like you meant it. Yeah, I mean... Knives. I like knives. That's what I'd say.
Are we talking about knives again?
I'm holding
that
my hand.
That was from before we were recording.
I know, but just I'm done. You know. Knives are nice. You know. They can
I hate it when I have more space than I need. I do archers.
Archers
are
good.
Put that down there.
Okay. I wouldn't have thought about doing that. Maybe I would have. Maybe I wouldn't have.
It doesn't reach far enough. See. And then sometimes, see, like, if I put a barricade down...
They'll get stuck.
Yeah, they just hit the barricade. Not all of the time, but enough of the time that's a problem. So it's better to... Also, look at this. How annoying is this?
Okay, yeah, I can see this is a pain in the ass. Wait, the other side isn't
and where
wider,
else are you going to kill him? Nowhere. The rift's right there.
The other side isn't wider, is it? It almost looks wider. Well, I guess not.
Okay, so there's two doors. And this one's really easy because it has floors and walls. And there's an immediate bottleneck. And then this one is all sorts of fucked up.
Yeah.
So we'll just put down stuff. No, but arrows. Then later.
I guess it works.
Keep texting me. That was two different people as well.
You're so popular.
I don't know that many people.
Like I never.
Well, I mean, I don't know two people. I mean, as an expression.
Oh,
I don't know why I'm not using my blade staff. I just forgot.
I also do not know.
Not that it's very entertaining to watch.
This is, it's more frantic clicking.
Oh yeah, this
But actually, I suppose they're both a lot of frantic clicking.
This puts a lot more emotion into it.
Does it?
Stop it!
It's about Emma Stone, if you noticed. I don't know.
It was about Emma Stone.
That's what it said.
Oh, was she in the Spider-Man, the reboot?
Maybe? I do not know.
I don't know why I'm asking you. You probably haven't seen it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So, that's one of the few movies that I hate on principle.
We on principle,
like on content, because they only made the new Spider-Man movies. Because if they didn't, then they would lose the rights to Spider-Man, and if they lost the rights to Spider-Man, then Marvel could have put them in the Avengers, and who would want to see that? Except everybody.
The whole Avengers thing annoys the fuck out of me.
Oh really?
Well, here's the thing.
Maybe that wasn't the best reason.
Well, and it's for such a simple reason, right? Now,
is it about the flying battleship that made no sense whatsoever?
No, that's... I mean, I didn't like that, but...
Did we talk about this? Did I talk about
I think so.
How that ship must have cost more than, like, any other piece of equipment ever made, and it got almost killed by an arrow.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And that was like 40% of the movie.
well,
Was one
what's
arrow.
strange is though, people have made flying battleships before.
You mean in real life?
Yes.
Okay. Go on.
So the two most notable attempts were by the Germans and by the U.S. And really, the German one was actually somewhat better than the U.S. one. The German was the plan was they had Zeppelins, and they had Zeppelins with small planes that could be suspended below them in like little hangars. So you could drop the plane down, release the plane, and the plane could fly around, shoot some stuff, fly back up, hook back on, and be winched back in. So you have like a flying
I see.
aircraft carrier, pretty much.
What is the advantage of a flying aircraft carrier? Can you explain
okay.
it to me? Besides the fact that it can go on land.
Well, no. The reason they built that is because the Zeppelin would have a lot more range than a Zeppelin has a really good range because it doesn't need to use because the lift is provided by light gases, not by flying. So it had a very long range, while the planes had really shit range because it was made when they made Zeppelins. That was the idea behind it, and that's really always been the idea. Now, currently this is not so much of an issue because we can refuel jets midair.
Yeah.
And
oh God.
Blah blah blah. Telling the flying airship.
Oh.
Flying aircraft carrier.
Were we really?
I think so, right? Because
right.
I never finished the.
That's what we're talking about now.
Okay, there you go. So, so anyways, that was the German one, which I don't think ever really worked or was ever really used. As the American one was even more absurd because the American ones were developed in like the '60s, and the idea is that bombers could fly really far, and it was hard to have fighter escorts with them. So what they would do is they said, we'll just make a plane that has its own fighter on board that can release it, and it can fly around and shoot stuff down, and then fly back and be tucked inside the belly of the plane. Well, the problem with this is that you have to make a really small jet to fit it inside, the bomber bay of a bomber. But they did that. They made a really teeny jet. I think it was called the Natter. And it was like teeny stubby little wings and teeny stubby little, very as small as I could make it. And like the deal was like it would fly behind it. It would use a hook to hook itself on, and then it would be winched in. And but the problem is like the turbulence from the plane was so much that you could barely even get close, and it would just shake the plane around, and there were a lot of crashes, and there's a lot of other accidents that happened. It was never a good idea, and of course the plane was so small, and the plane was at such a disadvantage that it would have never been it would have been completely destroyed by any decent fighter at the time. So it was really no point even having it there. But I think that they spent like several $1 billion on this project before they figured out this isn't going to work. We should probably cancel it. And that's what happened.
Okay.
I mean, those are the only two I know of. But oh wait, there was a. But how about submarine aircraft carriers?
See, that sounds useful.
It does sound useful for certain circumstances. The Japanese made a submarine aircraft carrier.
See, I can see the flying aircraft carrier in the sense of offense, but in Avengers, they were very, very much on the defensive. They did not need to be like in any very particular space.
No, it doesn't matter because it could never fly. The amount of energy required to keep that in the air with fans is so absurd.
Absolutely not be able to fly.
You would need
Iron Man spinning it
You,
with his hands.
you have to make the entire thing out of like lightweight composites with no armor and no nothing.
In which case, it wouldn't be able to hold together.
Yeah, it wouldn't be able to hold together, and you'd have to have a crazy nuclear generator with literally no shielding at all.
Okay,
Even then, it would not work.
We no longer have a timer. I have no idea how far we are into this episode.
But well, probably that whole thing. Probably piss time.